Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Blizzard just published a massive change coming to the gems with Season 6. The rubies are basically gonna not give a life anymore, and a bunch of reworks and also a completely new tiers of gems that is coming into the game. So they have been updating here their blog post, and WoW had spotted this here, so I'm gonna link the article in the blog post below. And basically, the drop quantity of gem fragments now has increased as you ascend difficulty. That's the first change. You will need more gems to upgrade the glyphs. I'll show you this later. A new gem tier grant has basically been introduced, top of royal. So you're gonna have 50% more effects on all these gems. And that's gonna give you 150 main stat per pop. And they require 10 times more gem fragments. So right now, you can only hold 1,000,000 gem fragments, and many people have already hit this cap here, where you basically are forced to craft gems and then sell them in order to still pick up your loot. So you can only craft a total of 10 gems, even with the cap, because they cost 100,000 to craft. And again, they give you 150 int, 150 main stat for all the classes. So pretty cool. And they also completely reworked some of these gems. So the rubies that used to give you this juicy amount of life here, they don't do that anymore. So you don't have any more choice basically on the armor gems here than to take main stat. Well, or you take the new rune words. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. But basically, this is gutting thorns builds a lot. So max life was very nice for the thorns, but the max life is going to completely be gone now. And I think this has to do with the stat squish that they're doing. But again, in my opinion, it's reducing the player choice even more now, because well, you want to have main stat or you want to have main stat, you know, apart from rune words, you're just going to go with main stat. Because it's 150, it's crazy. And then the amethyst, instead of strength, because strength is now on the ruby, is giving barrier generation now. And the diamond is giving all stats. So all stat is pretty cool. You can get 50 all stats on your diamonds on the highest tier. But compared to 150 main stat, I think you would always go with the main stat anyways. Because, okay, 50 all stat, you get 50 main stat, and you get 50, I don't know, dex, which gives you crit, willpower, which gives you a bit more resources, and int, which gives you a bit of all res. So I think you will always go with main stat now. Or you take one of the new rune words here. So we have the planner here, at least updated a little bit. There's still the skill tree missing. But you guys can see here, we have the different gems here that you can put in. And at least on the Barbarian, I was I think I'm still going to be taking these gems here on the weapon slots. And if you can, on the other classes, at least on one weapon slot, because the additive damage you can get on the weapon, which is 25 crit damage or something, is nowhere near as much damage as you can get now from the 100 strength. And obviously this is going to be 50% higher. The crit damage is also going to be 50% higher. But that's only 37.5% versus 150 main stat. And keep in mind, the main stat, they are rescaling the way armor works, but the main stat, at least on Barbarian and on Rogues, also gives you armor, 150 strength. I don't know how much armor it's going to be. Right now it's 150. And for the Sorcerer, if you get more Topaz, if you get more main stat with the Topaz, you're also going to get more all res. And there is this penalty coming to the world tiers. And I think it's minus 100% in those different world tiers. So you might actually want to look out to get some armor, and you want to look out to get some resistances now, because yeah, you're getting a huge penalty, at least if you want to play on world tier 4. So that's something to keep in mind when you do this stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about the shift away from those main stats. And then about these gem fragments. So 100,000, that's 10 times more fragments that you need for this grand tier for 50% more stats. It's still going to be even more power creep. We're probably going to have no problem reaching well above 3,000 main stats on most of the characters, and that is quite a lot for sure. Gonna give you a big damage multiplier. And you can see sort of the new scaling here, how it doubles basically on most tiers, and then at the end it goes up by 50%. So yeah, 150 main stat, pretty cool. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up here for the gems. And The fragments are going to be needed a lot also for the legendary glyphs. You guys can see this here. I think in this screenshot you see whenever you upgrade your glyph from 44 to 45, you will require 15,000 gem fragments. And that's probably also the reason why they actually updated the quantity of how often and how frequent these gem fragments are gonna drop, because we gonna need them. Probably like leveling the gem all the way up to 100, and 15,000 is no joke. Right now you can farm them pretty quickly. Like I'm at the cap here, so I can't even take any more. But if we like craft them, we could craft like a sapphire here, and then we finish the collection, then I can suddenly like pick all these. But the Infernal Hordes is right now one of the best ways to farm the fragments. Like you're getting every fragment out of the material chest, plus you get a bunch of masterwork materials out of those chests. But yeah, probably on most classes, especially on Barb, you want those rune words to be on your weapons. I think on other classes, like you can definitely take them like in the helm and stuff, like Harlequin's Crest here, is getting 2 sockets. And there are certainly a lot of options now with the runes. So the player choice is not all limited. So you have some more choices that you have to do, like where you put these runes. For some classes, the crit damage is a multiplier, so that is a good choice as well. For example, if you're playing the Lightning Spear Sorcerer with the splintering aspect, I think there is a good chance that you might want to keep the two-hander emeralds and then take the rune words basically in your armor slots. I think it would be also pretty cool actually if we had the rune words available on either amulet or ring slots, because at least at the moment some classes and builds have basically finalized their builds, but they are not playing any of the gems in the jewelry, because you don't need all res if you have Tyrell's Might, and you also don't need armor, again in the current game, if you don't have a Shaco. But with the rework that's happening, I think there's a good chance. It looks like the new armor cap is 1,000, and you have this 1,000 armor penalty.
Tornado Poison Execution build with the new poison aspect and the Mythic Polearm?
Yeah, I don't think the Mythic Polearm is gonna be any good at the moment. Like, it literally just executes enemies, so I don't think it's great. But we'll see. We'll test this all in the PTR here in just a couple of days. And I think it's very exciting that you have this armor penalty. And now, and I've seen a lot of people already complaining about this, but I think it's good, because right now, Shaco just solves all your armor problems. But if you have an armor penalty and also an armor rework, you basically have additional requirements to hit here, and you're not just like forgetting about armor, making a Juggernaut aspect, Disobedience aspect, stuff like that useless at the moment. But with the rework, I think we're gonna have at least some options to spec into some more armor and also into some more all-res, because even with Tyrell's Might and the 100% res penalty, you're not gonna be quite at max. So you have to have at least like another source, and you can probably get this in your Paragon boards of res. You see here, right now I have a 60% above the cap already, and this is already with the current, I think it's 50% penalty, right? So we already have a 50% penalty, 50%, so it's gonna be another 50% for a total of 100 penalty. And this basically allows me to still have about max res, but again, I'm playing the Lockrun Talisman. If I wouldn't play this, it would be kind of tough here. Look, I would only be like 20 away. Okay, it also gives some all res, I guess. But yeah, you definitely have to like make some choices and get some armor, hopefully. And the Shaco is just not going to solve it all. And I think that's good, because it just brings back the value, for example, into some of these Paragon nodes here. That's also going to give reduced armor, but that might get, you know, an extra benefit now, because you're not just going to slap on Shaco and reach armor cap like that. But yeah, let me know what you think about these gem changes. I think it's very cool we get a new tier. I just don't really like that it's like reducing or like getting rid of the max life. I think it's good to have more choices. I would even prefer a system where, you know, you just have like one type of gem. I don't know, let's say it's the amethyst, and it gives main stat for all the classes. Like you equip it on a barb, it gives 150 main stat. Equip it on a sorcerer, it gives 150 main stat there. And then you have like, I don't know, some other cool stuff on all the other gems. Like one could be life, you know, the other one could be damage reduction from close, damage reduction from distant, or I don't know, like something cool maybe, you know. I think that'll be much cooler in terms of a rework, but still, we're gonna get this, and we have the rune words, so there is definitely a lot more player choice with those. I'm looking forward to test them. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy, my friends. GG. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.